Hey guys, it's that time again, and it's been so long since I've live streamed. Glad to see you guys are here. And tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of leveling and talking about Blizzcon and just enjoying the Saturday stream. So let's go ahead and log on in. Now, for those of you who know, I love to level. Absolutely love it. As you can see here, I have tons of 120s, and I have a good bit of the allied races unlocked. Now, recently, I just unlocked a Coltiran, and I'm going to show you. I've just started him, but you know, I want them all on one server, so it's going to be a little bit easier. Now, tonight, for some reason, I cannot see my chat in OBS like I normally do. So please do be sure to let me know what you're seeing on your end. And wow, okay. For some reason, and I'm not sure what's going on, but let me check into something here because it appears that everything is very blurry on the live stream that I'm seeing. So let me go to the control room and see if I can figure this out. In the meantime, let me know who I've got and speak up. Let me know who I've got in live stream. Okay, so apparently it was just a fluke. It is working now. So I'm going to go ahead and just scoot this on over. And that's what we're going to just minimize the OBS, and we're going to go that way. Okay, so as I said, I wanted to try to get one of each one of the allied races. So we're going to start. We're going to go back to Thrall, which is my main server. As you can see, I have quite a few characters on that server. So we're going to create a brand new Coltiran. And we're going to go... Okay, as you can see, I already have the Dark Iron Dwarf also unlocked. But for tonight, we're going to be doing the Coltiran. And I want a male, of course. Let's go ahead and check out the customization. Hey, Hawk just dropped by to say, hey, have fun leveling and getting that druid up. They are so much fun at 120. Have a nice evening. Hey, Nick, great to see you. Be sure to give a like to the live stream if you would on your way out if you cannot stay. And by all means, be sure to check it out on playback. Okay, so we are going to go with a lighter color. I want the face to stand out. I like this one because it looks like he's got a scratch, a scar across his bottom lip and up into his face. So we'll stay with that. Hairstyle. Nothing against the chrome dome look, but it's just not for me. So we'll go ahead and pick a different look for that. Okay. Hair color. I like a darker color. So we'll go with that. And then facial hair. Now, I do have to say, Blizzard has given us a lot of different options as far as the facial hair and the customization on these characters. Now, just to make sure that everybody can hear me, if you would let me know that you can hear this and that everything is coming through clear. Don't want to have an echo. I did this once before, and for some reason we had a pretty nasty echo, so I'm hoping that's took care of. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and create the character. Actually, I guess I need to pick a class for him before I go any further. I'm going to go ahead and stick with a druid because a druid is very fun. I've played them before, and in game they are almost untouchable. Okay, I'm not sure how that Druid King is supposed to contain mature language. Okay. Mm, let's see. Name is unavailable. Still unavailable. Okay. Let's try out the randomize on the name. Sometimes you get one that is not totally crazy. Let's try one like this. I had to try. Anybody got any suggestions on a name? If you do, by all means drop it. Let me know and I'll give it a try. Let's see. This name's probably already took, but we're going to try it. Of course. Let's see. Okay, now it does seem like I have a little bit of a delay tonight, and I'm not sure why. But that is something I will figure out between now and the next live stream. Okay, still not having any luck with a name. Okay, Okay, finally we found one. Shadow, because of the expansion we're getting ready to start. Um, Also, as a interesting side note, Shadow Warrior was my very first character. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it, but I did go ahead and do Shadow Druid. Um, so let's go ahead and go on in. Okay, so the very first thing I always do, and I'm going to show you my methods, and it may sound like a bit of a crazy method, but I'm going to show you how I get my characters ready to level and to go forward. Let's go ahead and skip the cinematic. Very first thing I do, now I do use a custom UI, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. I'm going to go to Profile. Look down through here. Find my character. And there we go. Okay, so that's going to make things a lot easier. Now, the very next thing I do is I bring up my heirlooms list, which where my bags are up. Now the good part here is, as you can see, it started me out with my normal bag, and all 4 of the others are 10 slots each. So it don't start you out at the bottom level with a new one, a new allied race, that is. Now, for a druid, of course, you're going to have to use leather, and I'm going to make sure that I have a item that's been updated all the way up to level 4 of 4. Create the head. Now, another thing that you're going to want to be sure to look into is you're going to definitely want to use all of the heirlooms that you can. Every possible heirloom you're going to definitely want to use. For a druid, and I've not picked out a spec yet. If you have an idea on what spec you would like to see me level, let me know. I'll be more than happy to check into it. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and equip the pieces here that I have. I'm going to also go on over and create my ring, both of them. And go ahead and get my trinkets. Go ahead and put my rings and trinkets into place. Now this is going to help a ton when it comes to leveling, because you are going to, well, it's just going to give you a boost on your XP. For example, here's 10, 10, and that's 5, so that's 25, 35, 40, 45, 55, 55% bonus just off the top. And I've still got weapons to add and so on. Now, even if you're not using the whole set, don't hesitate to use what you do have, because I know a lot of times these heirlooms can be pretty expensive. Go ahead and accept. Now let's check out the spec and pick one. Professions. Okay, I'm not one that does the spell casting and stuff. For me, I'm more of a damage kind of person, so I'm going to go with Feral and go ahead and activate it. And then I'm going to need to set my bars up. Now I have everything set up a little bit different than some people do, but it is more convenient for me to do it this way. Now what I do is I'm going to set it up where I'm going to be using the cat more than any, because quite honestly the bear for me is more of a tank, and I'm going to be in cat form more than anything. Okay, now I do want to get all of my goodies over here, so I'm ready to do as much damage as I can. Let's hit on, see what the next page has for me. And if any of you do play a druid, you definitely know that a druid definitely has some of the most interesting forms, because you can, let's say you're in travel form and you jump in the water, automatically you're going to turn into water form and make it so much easier. But for now, that is going to be it on my abilities that I have. Now, the great part about Cultirians, Jack of all trades, it gives me a +5 increase on all of my professions. So let's go ahead and, oops, I almost forgot. And I see that we have some more people showing up into the live chat. go ahead and speak up. Let me know who I have, where you're from, and if this is your first time here, be sure to go ahead and click on the subscribe button. I'm playing US Realm. I'm on the server called Thrall. Okay. For some reason, I'm not seeing the key bind. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set all of my keys up so it's easier. And we'll go over here for that one. Okay, so that's what we're going to play with as of right now. Now, just out of curiosity, Vazen, is it? And if I'm mispronouncing your name, sorry about that. But is this your first time here? If it is, like I said, be sure to go ahead and click on the subscribe button, and that way you're always up to date on any new content that we have coming out. And what do you guys think about the thing with BlizzCon being canceled? You know, hopefully, you know, and I can understand why they canceled it because of the pandemic and so on, but it definitely is not something that any of us was looking forward to. But in a way, you know, we all had our suspicion, but it was going to happen, I guess, and now it definitely has. But if all goes well, hopefully they'll give us some kind of a virtual event in 2021. And this is definitely going to just mean that BlizzCon 2021 is going to have to be one that they just blow it away. And are you guys trying to get all of your allied races unlocked, or what are you doing to get ready for Shadowlands? Me myself, I'm enjoying the leveling process. I love leveling characters. It's just one of my favorite things, and getting ready to hopefully make as much gold as I can, of course, and go from there. Now, right now, as you can see, there's quests popping up everywhere. The great part is the bear is apparently still in town, and let's go ahead and head on over to it. And that's also another great part about getting your character ready to level. If you are lucky enough for the Darkmoon Faire to be up, by all means be sure to head on over to the Darkmoon Faire and ride the roller coaster or the merry-go-round, whichever one you want, and go from there, because it's going to give you a 10% buff going toward um, your extra XP. Now, this is definitely a good one. 10,000 experience. for exploring the mine. Let's check out the different ones they have here. Cobalt candles. Okay, speak to the marshal. That's easy enough. Bring 10 gold dust to Remy 2 times. And it's Gibbard from kobolds, which is great because we're going to be killing enough of them anyway. Same, in the process of leveling some tunes on the horde so that I can play with a friend. Hey, I don't know if you was here, and I'll pop out and let you see. I don't know if you was here when I created the character, but I have a very well balanced mix, I guess you could say, of Horde and Alliance. So I play both. Primarily I play the Horde. I mean, I'm not going to fib about that. That's something I've always done. But I also enjoy the Alliance too, because in my way of looking at it, if you're going to play a game, you need to try both sides. Check it out, see what you like. You know, there's certain parts of the Alliance, certain characters that they have that I just prefer the look of. You know, I prefer the way that they do. As you see here, I have a couple that are closing in on being 120. And I have a 120 Death Knight Horde, Paladin Horde 120, a Hunter, actually 2 Hunters 120. And the reason I do that, a lot of people are curious why I have like multiple Hunters. I don't want to have to change my my spec every time. You know, if I need something on one spec, I'll just go to it, because changing the spec can be a little bit expensive after you've done it enough. Then I have a priest, a warrior, another druid, a mage, shaman, rogue, demon hunter, all 120. And all of those actually are horde. So on this server, this will be my very first Alliance tune that's going to hit 120. So let's go ahead and go on back into the world. And let's go ahead and try to get as much of this done as possible. Now I will show you, like I said, if you've not been to the Darkmoon Faire and you're leveling, be sure to head on over, get that buff, because it is going to help you out a lot. I mean, 10% experience is not something you want to pace up. Now, the Darkmoon Faire also can give you a lot of experience. There's a lot of different quests you can do here, which hopefully once I get down to the fair, you'll see some quests start popping up. Now, even the blue quest, they will also give you experience, and all that means is that you can do it daily instead of like one time and be done. Okay, this one does not give experience. It gives a reward, which is a game prize, but for now we'll go ahead and just go on pace that. So head on down, turn in the quest for you coming here. I think it's going to give me like 1200 if I'm not mistaken XP. And you always want to pick up for one quest, and I'll be picking it up here in just a minute to show you. You got 1020 experience. So now the one that I always want to pick up on my alts is this one. It wants you to kill 250, well, anything basically that gives you experience, and it gives you, for each kill you get a grizzly trophy, and once you get the 250 grizzly tokens or trophies, you can come back here and she's going to give you 10 of the ride tickets, or 10 of the Darkmoon Prize tickets, Trevor. Now, the great part is, guys, if you don't already have your heirlooms, definitely be sure to come here, because for 50 tickets will get you one heirloom. Now, not all of them are 50, of course, because, for example, the parts that increase your limit or your level on it is going to be 120 tickets, but everything else is 50. Actually, the weapons are 75. But it is going to help you out a lot when you have the trinkets. Now, also, if you have already picked your profession, and as you can see here on this character, being brand new, I've not picked any professions yet. But now I'm going to go do that now. And once you do, you can come back here, pick up a quest for each one of your professions. It's going to help you level your professions, and I think it also gives experience, as far as I remember. Okay, let's see. Does this one give me experience? Yes, it does. Okay. Now, this is also a good one, because you're going to pick it up. You're going to go over, pick your ride, so to speak. Oops. Okay, I need a game token. Now, if it's your first time to the Darkmoon Faire, I'm going to show you where to get your token at. And they're pretty cheap. 6 silver, 40 copper gets you a bag that gives, I believe it's 10, but we'll find out. I have to get off of the mount. Ooh, it's 20 now. I thought it was 10, but I guess maybe they've increased it. Who knows? Okay, so let's head on over. Get back on my mount. Okay, so the trick here is you're going to want to go through as many of the things here as you can without getting slowed down like I just did. Always get the boots if you can. Now, you're going to want to go through as many of these as you can. Okay, I must have missed one because it's not showing me any arrows now. Okay, I see it. And watch out for these Tonk and Darkmoon Faire Zeppelins because they will mess you up big time. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. Just doing a little bit of leveling and discussing the Darkmoon Faire and Blizzcon. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and head back to town and get my professions. How's everything been going with you, Kelly? Again, guys, I do apologize for a little bit of a delay. So if you have a question or you say something and I don't reply, it's not that I'm ignoring. It's just that there's a delay between me seeing it and me being able to answer it quick enough for it to come back to you. So let's head on over to Stormwind. And we must be getting ready to have a storm. We either that or YouTube's having an issue, one of the two, because I do see every so often I get a little bit of a blur. So is anybody else as disappointed as I am with the news about BlizzCon being canceled? I was definitely looking forward to it, but you know, it's kind of to be expected, I guess, that they are going to cancel it anytime there's a pandemic. I mean, you can only have what 10 people. At some places you can have a little bit more, but for the most part, 10 people, and that's pretty well it. Okay, Damon Anderson. I hope you're right with BlizzCon 2020 being canceled. It would be awesome if they would go all out for 2021. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to, and in fact, I'm kind of hopeful that they'll have another smaller event, if you will, another live event, maybe I don't know, some kind of a gaming uh, preview of what's to come. I don't know what it would be, but definitely I'm hopeful that it'll be something. I've been doing fine, been leveling my characters up and getting ready for Shadowlands. Hey, that seems to be what everybody's doing right now. I know that I've got a ton of 120s, and if I have my way of doing it, I'll have every character that I have at 120 between now and the time that Shadowlands goes live. Hopefully, we have a release coming up. If everything goes the way I'm thinking it will, and you know, obviously nobody knows except Blizzard herself. If everything goes the way I'm thinking it will, we're gonna see release probably in October, or at latest November. That's what I'm wanting to say at least. What do you guys think? When do you think it'll go live? Now the great part is the buff, as you can see here, Winds of Wisdom is still with us and will remain with us up until the pre-patch. GM Mystic, hey, welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, if anybody's the first time visitor, be sure to subscribe. That would greatly be appreciated. Yo, I'm returning to WoW, and I was wondering if Classic would be better than Retail to start on again. Which do you think? Personally, it would depend. If you're a big fan of Classic, then I would suggest Classic. It depends on how long you've been away. If you've been away for a very long time, say you've not played in 4 or 5 years, then yes, I would definitely go to Classic, play on it. If you don't level a character all the way to 60, at least play on it for a short while. Just dropped a sub, liked the stream. Okay, great. I appreciate it. Thank you for that, and be sure to check back to the channel as often as you can, because we do have new content coming out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a live stream every second Saturday. So definitely something that you hopefully will be looking forward to, and hopefully I'll see you quite often. Been away for 2 to 3 years, then yes, I definitely would start. Actually, I would start both. Okay, I would start a Classic character, and then I would also start a Retail character. But I would play your Classic to at least level 30 to 40 before diving deep into the Retail. And the reason being, there's been so many mechanics change over the last few years, and you're going to want to be familiar with them before you just jump in and go completely Retail. And if you're like me, I enjoy playing both Retail and Classic as a whole. I play a little bit of each. And also, if you, depending upon which class you play, if you're playing like a tank, definitely try to level your tank in Classic for at least a little while. Get used to it again, because tanking has changed so much, and so has healing, in all honesty. Now me, I am primarily DPS. Okay, that's my favorite thing in the game. Well, actually, that's my second or third favorite thing in the game. My favorite thing in the game is mounts. I love to collect mounts. That's just me. And then also I enjoy making gold, which is another reason for having all the alts. I've had people wonder, well, why would you even possibly think of having so many alts? Well, now you know why. Because if for every alt you have, for example, like right now and I don't know if I can bring up that map or not and show you, but I'm sure going to try. Okay, the emissaries that would be down here if I had this, if I was the appropriate level, those will give you sometimes 2,000 gold each. And if you have, let's say, 25 alts, you just made 50,000 gold in no time. I'm quite young compared to the average player. I'm only 16, but I loved watching my father play when I was like 8. Then got my first subscription at 9, played for 2 years, and then couldn't play. Hey, I definitely understand that. I've been playing myself since 2004. I took a few little breaks here and there, but been playing since 2004 and love the game. Okay, so there we go. But I can again now. I don't pay for my subscription as I use WoW tokens. I play DPS2 as a hunter and DK. A hunter, okay. When I very first started, and some of you, if you've been watching my channel for a while, some of you will already know this. But I started out as a Alliance Druid. When I very first started out, that was my brother. He was on the Alliance, and I'm not gonna, beat around the bush. My mom, she said, well, hey, keep an eye on him. Make sure nobody does anything that they shouldn't, that kind of thing. So I said, okay, I'll keep an eye on him. So I joined the Alliance, done a hunter or a druid rather, and then he switched to the Horde. And quite honestly, I went ahead and switched over to the Horde myself, and I loved it. The Horde is one of my favorites. I do play, like I said, both. I'm not like totally destroying the Alliance. I'm not, saying that the Alliance is not worth playing, because they are. They have a lot of good places, a lot of good races, and so I played both. But when I started on the Horde, I created my very first warrior called Shadow Warrior, which was a movie that I've absolutely loved with Terry Hulk Hogan. If you've not watched it, it's a very, very good movie. And then I also created a hunter, and I love both. But as I said, now I'm largely into playing the different classes, different races, giving both of them a try. And you would be surprised how much more you learn about the game by playing both sides. Because, for example, I just never understood a lot of what the Alliance has done up until I started playing an Alliance. Now, I will say that one of the parts that always just absolutely broke me up and made me just have have one of the life of a century, as we say, is the fact that Anduin for years was nothing but a little boy, and then all of a sudden Legion comes around and boom, he's an adult. So I thought that was kind of funny. Also, how many of you believe that we're getting ready to see Anduin, or at least one of Anduin's people, betray the Alliance? I mean, as we all know, the Horde had their little um, issue, their little civil war, if you will. But what do you think is going to happen with the Alliance? I've heard some people say that it'll never happen to the Alliance because they're just too close, that they just don't turn on each other. But it will. It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. Ian Hezekiah himself has even said that, and this was in a live stream a couple months ago, I think it was, where He said, but the Horde is going through their civil war now, and the Alliance will have theirs when it makes sense. Okay, yeah, I have 4 120 Alliance players and 4 120 Horde players as my dad leveled me up while I was away. I've missed a lot of the story, but I need to catch up. Okay, not sure how, what kind of setup you have, but do you have your heirlooms? Because if you have your heirlooms, you're definitely going to be able to level a lot quicker and get the story a lot more. Because, well, obviously, as you level, you learn more about things. For example, I never knew just how detailed the story was with Jaina Proudmoore until I started playing the Alliance and helping the Proudmoore Admiralty. It's awesome. I think it's just very fun. Okay, great. Yeah, definitely use your weapons and your armor from your heirlooms. Also, let me bring mine back up because I forgot to even get my weapon. Hold on. And if you've not already, be sure to, I think it's 25, it may be more, I can't remember. But I can sure look and see if it will let me know. Let's go to the mounts. Chauffeured mechanical chopper. Okay, and it don't tell me. Heirloom hoarder, so let's look it up. Okay, here we go. If you get 35 of your heirlooms, you're going to automatically get a mount that you can use at level 1, so that's always great. I'm not saying I see it. I'm not saying I will see it happen, but Greymane is rather loyal to Anduin, so if it ended up being a betrayal, that could be a huge impact. I'm thinking it's going to either be Greymane, like you just said, or possibly Tyrande. Because, as we all know, she has had it in for the Horde. She blames the Horde for what happened to her family, to her, to her people, and obviously she is not happy with the Horde at all right now. Okay, so wow. Okay, so this will get me to 60. Okay. And then at 60, I'll use something else. I definitely need to get that piece upgraded though. I have to go for today. It's 2 a.m. for me in the UK. Have a great stream, and I'll definitely be back to the channel in the channel often. Great. Thank you again, GL Mystic, and enjoy your night. Hopefully you have a great night's sleep. Great to see you, and welcome to the channel. Now, Damon, if not Greymane, who would you think the betrayer would be? And I'm going to throw this out there, and a lot of people are going to say I'm wrong, but I think Anduin may be the betrayer. And if you look at it, the the Whispers of Il'gynoth stated that the boy king serves at the master's table. 3 lies will he offer you. Who's the boy king? In my way of looking at it, that is a direct reference to Anduin. And the reason being, if you played back in the day of Classic, back in Vanilla, or if you go over to Classic right now, you're going to see Anduin running around Stormwind, and he is a boy, and above his head there's going to be a tag that says King of Stormwind. Well, he can't be a king of Stormwind, as, obviously, because the king is his dad. But think about this. He was a boy, and he's tagged as the king. Exactly. Now, some people say that Rappion. But no, I don't think so, because Rappion is clearly listed as Prince, the Black Prince, okay? Because, well, his brood is the Black Dragonfly. So I personally think that it is Anduin. I mean, I may be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. In all honesty, I'm pretty sure it is Anduin. But I'll be doing a video a little bit later on about that, giving a little bit more insight into what I think is going to happen there. And I honestly think that Anduin, I think he started to turn on the Alliance in a way back when his dad was killed. Okay, think about it. Greymane was there, and Greymane was supposed to save or protect, keep his dad safe. Okay, but did he? No. He didn't do anything to save Varian. Now, I don't think he could have, even if he wanted to, because it was just Varian was hanging, and he dropped, and he was more or less overpowered by the demons, by Gul'dan. And in all honesty, I think that that's what the breaking point for Anduin was. He seen his dad die. He knew that he's going to blame, well, obviously he blames the Horde, because the Horde was working with them, and the Horde didn't save him. So obviously he blames them. But also, who else can he blame? Greymane. Okay? Greymane was right there, did nothing. Like I said, I don't think there was too much he could have done. But that's just my thoughts. But personally, I think that overall, I think that the Horde and the Alliance, now they're trying to make it look like that we're all going to be at peace. Everybody's going to be happy, happy, joy, joy. No more war. And we all know how long that will last. Not very long at all. That's going to be something that is going to in and out done. Okay? Because, well, this is called World of Warcraft, not World of Everybody Gets Along Craft. So, I don't think it's going to last very long at all. And also, Damon and everybody else here, if you've not already seen the video I did um, on my predictions for going forward, what I feel is going to happen, uh, be sure to check it out. And I'll drop a link down in the description once this video goes up for playback, once the live stream does, so you can check it out. But, I honestly think that we're going to see a big change coming our way, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised, and a lot of people say, no, that's never going to happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen a third faction, okay? The reason being, you have Horde members who just, no matter how much peace that is being preached, you have Horde members who hate the Alliance, who want nothing more than to kill the Alliance. You have Alliance members who want nothing more than to kill the Horde. Okay? Well, and then you have some who do want peace. The ones that want peace can stay with the current Horde. The ones who want war would leave and go over to the third faction. More or less have the third faction as a spillover, if you will, for both Horde and Alliance. Also, guys, just so you do know, if I am trying to stay as consistent as I can on my release times and dates on my videos. However, there may come a time that I miss one or something of that nature, because my father-in-law is in the hospital. Matter of fact, he may be watching still. If you want to say hi to him, he's been watching the live stream for a while now. And he's been very sick for a while. He's in the hospital. Hopefully he'll be coming home and being better sooner than later. But as I've always said, family comes first. I love the game. I love each and every one of the people who watch my videos, but family obviously is going to come first. And how many of you have played the Cultirians? And what are your thoughts about them? Because so far, I'm enjoying the Cultirian race, and I still didn't do it. Let me head back to town before I forget. I keep on saying that I'm going to head back to town and learn the professions, because that is also another leveling trick that I use a lot. Okay, and I'll show you why I say that. Let me head back to Stormwind first. Okay, now, as a druid, a lot of people would say skinning, leather working, that way you're going to automatically be able to make your own gear. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, if I'm going to level a character, I'm going to level that character to make me as much gold as I possibly can. And in that way, the best way to do that is with professions such as herbalism and mining. Okay? Now, herbalism, every time you pick an herb, every time you mine an ore, you're going to get that much more experience. Okay? You're going to be leveling your character up and you're going to get experience. So that is a winner, you know? And I don't know if you guys watch Food Network. I love Food Network, one of my favorite TV channels. And I love watching the TV show Guy's Grocery Games with Guy Fieri, and also Restaurant Impossible. Now, one of the things that that Guy Fieri is very fond of saying is winner, winner, chicken dinner. And to me, if I'm leveling an alt and I'm going to level him for making gold, it's a winner, winner, chicken dinner for me if I'm getting experience as I level that alt for my professions. Okay? And that's where it stands for me. So 99% of my alts are going to have the profession of herbalism and mining. Now, I do also suggest, and a lot of people are you know, they just play the one character, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also suggest that if you're going to play alts, have one that is a tailor, first and foremost. One that is a tailor. Why? Because the tailor can make bags. You're going to want those bags to where you can carry that much more stuff and make that much more gold for every time you come to town, or every time you go to a vendor to sell something. You're going to want to maximize. Now, also, if you have the money and you're on your main, go ahead and pick up the mount here for, let's see what it's called for the Alliance. Okay, it's the Traveler's Tundra mount, Mammoth. Okay, now this is with for the Alliance, Mia, Francis, and Crystal Song Forest, and it costs 20,000 gold. Now, the great part about that is it's a mount, but it also is a repair shop, so you can repair your gear. You can sell stuff that you, like your grays and items that you know you're not going to go to the auction house and sell. But, you know, it definitely helps out a lot. Now let me head on over to the auction what time I'm here, and I'll show you why I say that you definitely need at least one of the tailors. As we know, the hexweave bags was a big thing back in Legion. Okay. And they have still remained a very big thing in Battle for Azeroth, because they are worth a lot of gold. Okay. Can't find that quest. Maybe it's over here. There we go. Okay, so let's head on over to the auction house, and I'll show you why I say that you're going to want to have at least one tailor. Okay, Right now, the Hexweave bags are going for 400 gold, but they will sell quick. Now let me look at the. I'm going to just do a search for bag. Okay, that's a mining bag, and I don't know who's trying to sell it for 180,000 gold for a single bag that has 28 slots. But hate to say it, it's not gonna sell. Okay, Hulk, love the stream. We'll try to catch your next one. Looking forward to your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Damon, and great to see you as well. This live stream is only going to go for about another 15 minutes. So if anybody in the live stream has any questions, be sure to go ahead and pop them out, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. So, like I said, I'm a big fan of having one of most all professions, if not all professions. But when you're leveling, and a lot of people would say, well, that's just silly. Why level with one and then come back and do another? There's a reason. There's a reason. Because when you're leveling, you want that experience, right? You're wanting you're wanting to get as much experience in as quick a time frame as you can. And for me, that means using your professions, dungeons, everything. Okay, so I'm going to go herbalism. It's going to mark it, so I'll go on over, get it. Like I said, anybody have any questions, be sure to go ahead and pop them up on the live chat now, and I'll be more than happy to answer. I'm also looking at possibly starting to do more videos about the classic WoW. And I'm sorry, guys, if I seem like I'm a little bit off my game tonight, but it's just it aggravated me to no uncertain ends. That when I come back, I have obviously been away from streaming for a while, but when I come back, everything has changed. YouTube has updated things. My software that I use is Streamlabs OBS. It's updated things, and it was just a lot of updates to do to get ready for tonight. But I did not foresee as being something I would need to do. Okay, so let me go ahead. Profession trainer, mining. Okay. Also, be sure, guys, that you are watching the videos as they come out, because I'm getting ready to do a mini series that you're going to find very interesting, I think. It's going to teach you how to make as much gold as possible in the quickest possible time frame. And the main reason for this is, I don't know about you, but I want this mount. I want the Mighty Caravan Bruisaur. Okay, now yes, that does say 5 million gold, but it's not unattainable. Let me just go ahead and say that. It's not something that we cannot get. It's late in the game. You know, we have the expansion coming out soon. Hopefully not too soon. I'm hoping for October, November. But definitely it is something that we can still get. And the reason that I personally want that mount more than anything right now is if I can get that mount and I'm leveling over in Shadowlands, I can still monitor very closely all the auctions. Anything I need to sell, I can sell. And it's going to make me a lot more gold. Now, it will hurt. I'm very cheap when it comes to things. Even in real life, if I can get it on sale, I'll take it. If I can't, chances are I'm not going to take it as quick. Okay, but to be very blunt, that mount may cost 5 million, but it will make you a whole lot more than you ever pay for it. Because, well, imagine you're in Shadowlands, you just had this awesome weapon drop or awesome piece of gear drop. You want to go ahead and put it on the auction house because you don't want to. You do not want to waste time. Put it that way. Because the sooner you can get it on the auction house, the quicker it's going to sell. And if somebody's looking for a piece of gear, they're going to buy yours first. Because and they're going to buy it for a higher price. Because, well, to be honest, when the expansion first starts, everything's going to be high priced. Okay? So, it just makes you more money. And you're not going to want to run back to, let's see, back to your Hearthstone, back to your home, and then go from there to back to either Stormwind or whatever to auction off your item. You're going to want to make it as quick as possible, and the only way you're going to do that is if you have the Mighty Caravan Brutosaur mount. So it is something that I do want to get, and I will be doing like I said, a mini series where I share with you all the little tricks and tips that I use myself to make gold. And it's kind of funny because, you know, I've had people come up to me over the years and they want to know how to do this and how I learned to make gold and so on. And nobody ever believes me when I tell them how. And the reason they don't believe me is it sounds too simple. Okay, I started out just like everybody else. Broke. And no way of paying for repairs. You know, I was a raider back in the day at that time. I wanted to raid, but back in vanilla, man, raids was something you did if you had a lot of gold. If you didn't, you did not do it. So I would spend 10, 12, 14 hours a day sometimes just going out and farming for gold to supply my repairs and so on for when I raided. And then after a while, a friend of mine told me, said, you know, it's getting too expensive. I'm quitting. So he did. He quit raiding and started making tons upon tons upon tons of gold. Now, was that a good thing? For him, yes. For me, no. I wanted to do both. So I started doing all the quests I could, having alts. I started selling things on the auction house. Now, admittedly, a lot of times I would sell it for cheaper than it was worth, only because I didn't know any better. And then, about a year into it, probably back in '07, '06, '07, I was talking to a very good friend of mine. He had been playing the game since '04 as well. And he was telling me that, you know, he had a lot of gold. And I was like, how in the world do you get so much gold? Are you a gold farmer? Or, what's going on? And he said, actually, yes, I am a gold farmer. That's what I do. That's what I like about the game. That's my thing. And I picked his brain, and I got all of his little secrets of how to make gold, what he does, how he does it, and it just made things so much easier for me to make gold. And then, of course, a long time as time went on, I added my own tricks and tips to it, and it's nothing for me to make a lot of gold now. Just a couple nights ago, I posted a lot of stuff right before bed, and when I posted it, I was thinking, this stuff is not going to, all sell. I posted like 200,000 gold worth of stuff. In one night, I sold over 122,000 gold worth of items. So it does definitely help if you just have a large surplus, first of all. But before I end this chat, I am going to go ahead and show you what I meant when I said professions help. So let me go ahead and kill this wolf. I'll have to also kill the baby wolf. But let me go ahead and... Okay, so they're dead. Now watch. 1,096 experience just for picking that herb. Okay? And it's the same thing with ore. Now sometimes you'll get more for the ore than you do the herbs. I don't know why that is, but I just know that that's the way it generally ends up being. But let me see if I can find a piece of ore to mine for you real quick. And again, anybody has any questions, please do feel free to ask now and in the future. If you have any questions and the video has already ended and you're watching this on playback, be sure to go ahead and post them in the comments. I always try to answer each and every question, and I'll be more than happy to answer yours. Okay, so finding ore is not being easy right now. I don't know why. But I'm finding a lot of herbs. Hopefully this is a piece of ore. Nope, herb. Okay, well, as I've said, I'm getting 1,000 experience, 1,096 for every herb that I pick. And it does the same thing with ore. Like I said, pick a node of ore, and you're sitting with some pretty serious experience as well. Hopefully this is okay, I don't even see what this is. It's an herb. Figures. But anyway, guys, I do definitely appreciate everybody who has been in the live stream. I appreciate you coming out, spending a little bit of your weekend with me, and trying to learn to level up as quick as possible, And I enjoy sharing these tips and tricks with you, okay? So if there's any questions that you do have, any tips that you may have but I may not know, share them. I'll be more than happy to take a look. And if it is something that I've learned and I've not done myself, or maybe it's something that other people may learn from, I will do a video on it and I'll give you credit. I'll give you a shout out in the video so that everybody knows that you helped out and you contributed to that video. Okay, and of course, as I'm getting ready to end the stream, I find a piece of ore. So let's go ahead and mine it. And of course, you get attacked. Okay. So now mine. And again, over 1,000 experience. So each time, for example, here, in order to level this whole level, was 45,000 experience. I could run around, pick 45 herbs, and get a complete level, and never have to kill anything. So that is another trick, another tip. A friend of mine has leveled his character from 1 to 120 and has not killed but maybe 10 or 12 things the whole time. He didn't do any quests, he didn't do any dungeons. All he done was picked herbs and ore. Now that's not my thing because it does take quite a while longer to level that way unless you have an area that is very heavily saturated with herbs and ore. Okay guys, that's it. I'm out for now. Again, I do appreciate you stopping by and spending some time. Let me know if there's anything you need, anything you want to see videos or live streams about. Until next time, enjoy WoW, and remember, why level alone when you can level up with Hawk Gaming?